The Clayhanger family are moving house, and Edwin is both excited and nervous that he and Hilda will now be neighbours.
What you got?
Tongs.
Stuffed tongs down here.
Hey, up, mind your fingers.
This help a job. And start minding thine.
I'll settle for pleasure of watching you.
Breastplate and all. I'll watch it down your back.
You ought to put a candle in that and light it, mister. It saved the horses a lot of trouble and that.
If there's not better to do than gawp and giggle, then gawp and giggle someplace else. I've got a shop here that's open for trade, and I'll thank you to let customers get past to it.
Who does he think you are then? Just to think he owns old blessed straight then?
Happen to you like as I should get a policeman down. Then we'll see who owns old blessed straits. Off with you. Ah. Shop will not look after itself, thou knowest.
Stifford's in there, Father.
If there's not enough work for thee as well, happen I can save money by reducing staff.
Packed tight we are now, then. Oh, well, they're good, there, then.
Saucepan to payment.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is.
Can't set off just yet, sir. Not till losses come back from first load. It seems suitable time to take our refreshment then.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Just across Dragon Whale Bay.
Foster's take you anywhere.
Mr. Clayhanger,
Morning, Mr. Beanie.
all going to plan, is it?
I think so.
Aye, good, good. When are you coming in for that money?
Is it ready?
Aye, waiting.
You going to the office now?
Aye.
It won't take a minute, I suppose. I'll slip over in 2 jiffs. I'll be there almost as soon as you are.
Aye. Bring a receipt stamp.
Oh, yes.
It was due last week.
Yes, it had quite slipped my mind.
You made your final contribution on April the 29th, thus completing your total of £40. The necessary 3 months then elapsed and you were due £50 on the 29th of July. Of course, as it happens, that was Centenary Day, but you've been entitled to have it at any time since. May I have your membership card and the stamp for the receipt, please? Thank you. Thank you.
18 pence a week for all those years. Every Friday night down here paying 18 pence. The gas jet fizzling and the line of men watching, the chink of the money. Well, that's it, it's finished. I've paid up my share. The dad can't force me to do it again. And now he's going to give me £50.
Will you sign across the stamp, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
I presume you'll be wanting to start another share.
Yes, of course.
Would you care to pay the first 18 pence now?
Yes. I think Yes.
Right then. We can start you from last Friday instead of wasting a week. Right, there we are, Mr. Clayhanger. Every Friday night as usual.
Hi, Maggie. Had to go out on business.
Oh. Father sent me down to make thoroughly sure they'd packed everything.
I can't think why. He knows there's no more room.
You know what he is.
Yes.
It's going to be so strange, isn't it?
What?
Well, sleeping up there. After all the time we've slept down here.
Yes. I'd better get back to work, I suppose.
Your Augrey friends have been very interested. They've been watching everything from the garden.
Well, it's only natural to be curious.
All right.
Which ones did you see? Orgreaves.
Oh, the little one was looking through the hedge, but Janet was in the garden too.
Oh.
That other one, you know, the girl who's staying with them. I saw her as I was walking down. Going into Blakeridge Station she was. I wonder where she's off to.
Well, how should I know? Just because we're going to be neighbours with people doesn't mean we record every movement they make.
I don't see there's any call to get huffy. I was just curious.
Everything
that's
all right, Stephen?
Yes, sir.
Good. Why didn't I tell her about the £50? It's no secret, is it? I should have just said. I wonder where that Hilda's gone to, then. Come on. We're off!
Our house. It was Mother's and mine, and it'll be gone. Last Friday. It has gone. All of it. I said to sell it, and it's gone. I'm free of it. Absolutely free.
Anybody here?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Listways. I was wondering what had become of you.
Well, every day I was expecting you to call again or send me another note or something, and what with one thing and another,
Well, I dare say your time has been fully occupied.
Well.
Look, will you come in? We're in a bit of a mess, I'm afraid.
Did he see me at the centenary with Edwin Clayhanger? I had a letter from Miss Gailey this morning, and it seems to me that it's about her that you want to...
Yes.
I wish I'd known. If I'd had the slightest idea, I should have come over instantly, but I thought it was about my affairs, the sale and whatnot. And as I'd asked you to look after that as best you may, I didn't trouble to...
Will you sit down, please?
Thank you.
So, you've heard from Sarah, have you?
She's not well.
Yeah, or imagines she's not well.
Oh, no. It's not imagination. She really isn't well.
You think so?
Don't think so. I know.
But it's nothing serious, eh?
Well, not what you'd call serious.
Because she wants to give up the boarding house business altogether. That's all.
Wants to give it up? But I thought the boarding house was doing very well.
It is. She is.
Then why?
Now, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you. Has she said anything to you?
No. Oh, you mean...
I mean about giving it up.
About giving it up? No. Oh, so it's that you wanted to see me about?
Yeah, well, she wrote to me a few days after you came away and suggested that I should see you and ask you what you thought.
Why me?
Oh, well, she thinks the world of you, Sarah does.
But, supposing that she does give it up, what will she do?
Exactly. I do wish you'd write to her and put some reason into her. She mustn't give it up. With her help, and you know, in the management, she's simply wonderful. With her help, I think I can get something going that will really startle folks. Only she mustn't throw me over. And she mustn't be too crotchety with the boarders. Well, I've had a little trouble in that line as it is. In fact, I've had to be rather cross. Well, you remember about the Boutwoods, for instance. Well, I've smoothed that over. It was nothing. If she'll keep her head. If she'll keep her head, it's a gold mine. You'll see. Only she, well, she needs a bit of managing. Now, if you, well, If you'd only write.
Shan't write. I shall go and see her at once. She wants company. She was so kind to me, I couldn't possibly leave her in the lurch. Well, I can't very well go today, but I shall go tomorrow. And I shall drop her a line tonight.
Well, that's very good of you, I'm sure.
Not at all.
They held the sale of your furniture on Friday.
Yes, so I saw.
Ah. Well, I think it should be about what I thought. The houses and the furniture together should bring you something between 3,400 and 3,500, but it'll take a few weeks to settle everything up.
Oh, yes.
I suppose you've heard about the newspaper packing up.
Yes. I am sorry.
Ah, well. You've been staying with the Orgreaves, then?
Yes.
Will they be surprised that you're leaving?
Don't know. I'm sure they'll understand.
Well, I suppose that now that everything of yours is settled up here, you'd have been thinking of leaving anyway. Apart from the Orgreaves, there can't be much to say for.
I shall take the 4 o'clock train tomorrow.
The 4 o'clock? Oh, well, then we might meet at Knype Station. I may go up on that train myself.
Oh, you're going to Hornsey too?
No, not Hornsey. No, I have other business.
Oh.
I can't tell you how grateful I am to you, Miss Lesways. The fact is, you're the only person who could do it. Your mother was the only real friend she ever had, you see, and this is the first time she's ever been up there all by herself. I'm quite sure you can save the situation.
Well, I shall do the best I can.
Oh, you'll succeed. I'm quite sure you shall.
Well then. What in?
I'm sorry about the drawing room, Father. But we should have it in order by tomorrow. There are chairs in there if you want to sit down.
Oh, wait. But with all the servants that we've got to the house now...
Mrs. Nixon and her niece, Father.
That's 2, isn't it? 2 to look after 3.
Well, you did say, Father.
Oh. Start moving in upstairs tomorrow. Near the shop, I mean. Not having that space wasted there. Seem to recall as Osmond Orgrave was to come out with plans for proper use. Seem to recall as he said he would. But then I've noticed with Osmond Orgrave, as he'll promise the moon if he's got something to sell. Promise the moon, aye, and charge the earth. Well, plans or no plans, I'm not wasting that space. We shall start moving in there tomorrow, see?
We could certainly use more room, Father.
Ah.
I think I'll go upstairs.
Tired, are they?
Not really, no.
Get your own room in order first. Tell with the rest of us, eh?
I don't think so, Father.
Plays the sen. Ah. We're in.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I got £50. And I shall do with that just what I like. I wonder what she'd think of all this.
Byron. Yes. Child Harold.
Yes?
There's a matching edition of Don Juan there.
Oh, really?
Just a little to your right.
Jolly good. Poetry. Yes. That's what I must read. Lots of poetry.
Voltaire.
Yes.
In the French.
Oh, yes. French? That's what I must do. I must read it in the French. If those Orgreaves can do it, so can I. I'll take these.
Just these?
Yes.
I've not seen the others.
Oh.
There's 8 more there, see? All Voltaire as well.
More stories?
Oh, Dictionnaire philosophique. Read French, dear.
Oh, yes.
Oh, some folks just buys them for binding, see? Bit of show and parlour, see what I mean? If it's reading you want, happen, philosophy doesn't interest you.
Oh, yes, it does, yes.
Ah.
Luke, how much for the lot?
Byron as well.
Yes.
17 shillings. And that's the lowest I can do. And you're getting very good value because they're very fine books.
I'll take them.
I'll get a bit of strength.
17 shillings out of £50. It's the start of my collection, my proper collection. Better not mention it to Father, though.
Protect you? Oh, yes, you protect the public from going to see somebody who might be a little bit more clever than you are. Eh?
We're the Law Society, Canon. We're the governing body, and there's no arguing with that.
You're a bunch of jumped-up idiots.
Well, if that's your attitude, it's no wonder that you're in the position you are.
Now, don't you patronize me, Lawton. Why the hell do you think you're in the position you are? I'll tell you, shall I? Because your blasted father put you there.
I'm qualified, Canon, and you're not. We have some standards in this profession of ours.
Standards? What sort of standard are you? I'd take your standards and I'd tread on them, that's what I'd... Oh, good afternoon, Miss Leslie.
Well, there's no point in this conversation, isn't there, Mr. Canon? The whole thing's been decided by the process devised.
Yeah, devised by who? Devised by you and people like you. Thank you, Porter.
I thought you were going to be left behind.
Not quite. Do you mind shutting that window? Getting rid of that smoke.
Be out of it soon.
Yes, thank God. And I shall take care I never go back into it again. Not to live, that is.
Really?
May I?
Oh, please do.
Well, 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 well. Did you hear much of that?
Much of what?
Well, anyway, that apart. You must have heard about my little affair. Well, you mean to say none of the Orgreaves have said anything this last day or two?
No?
Well, you surprised me, that's all. Never heard any gossip about me. Never. Never heard that I'm not really a solicitor.
Oh. Well, Mother may have mentioned something.
Yes,
But I don't understand those things. Something about it.
no, nothing. Only I've been done. Done. I dare say you'll hear about it in a day or two. Shall I tell you? Eh? Would you like me to tell you? Well, I expect I know as much about the law as any of them, but I was never admitted, so I... Well, you see, if you want to practice as a solicitor, you have to pass examinations, and I never passed examinations. Well, it's very expensive as all that, and I couldn't afford it when I was young. It's not as if the examinations are difficult. You can tell that from the fellows that pass them. Lawton, for instance. You know, Lawton. That was him back on the platform there. He's the president of the local law society. No end of a president is Lawton. Hasn't even got the gumption to keep his father's practice together. Stupid ass. But he's passed the exams as Mr. Lawton. That's how difficult they are. But after a certain age, you see, examinations become a nuisance. Especially when you can do everything else. And I could do everything else. I could have had a dozen situations in any one of the 5 towns as managing clerk if I'd wanted, but I didn't want. I wanted to be on my own. And I could get clients as quick as any of them, and quicker, oh yes. So, I found Carkeek. The excellent Mr. Carkeek. Another of the bright ones who could pass the exams. Oh, yeah. Yes, he passed the exams all right. He spent 5 years, and I don't know how many hundreds of pounds passing the exams, and with it all, he could never get above a couple of pounds a week. There are hundreds and hundreds of real solicitors up and down the country who aren't earning more, and they aren't worth more. But I gave him more, and a lot more, too. Just so as to see his name on my door and on my blinds. You see, in theory, I was his clerk, but in reality, he was mine. Oh, he understood. It was all quite clear. I should think he did understand. By Jove, everybody understood. I got a practice together in no time. He didn't do it. He couldn't get a practice together in 1,000 years. I had the second best practice in Turnhill. And I'd soon have had the best one, too. If I hadn't been done. Well, Carkeek came into some money, and he simply walked out. Just simply walked out of the office. Just didn't give me time to turn around. I'd always treated him properly, but he was jealous.
Just walked out?
Yes. Yes, well, I couldn't stop him. No formal agreement between us. Well, there couldn't be, could there, in a case like ours? So he had me. He'd always taken my wages quick enough for as long as it suited him. Then he comes into a little bit of money and behaves like that. Jealousy. Well, they were all jealous of me. They always had been. I was doing too well. So I had the whole gang of them down on me instantly, like 1,000 of bricks. They knew I was helpless, so they came on. Special meeting of the Committee of the North Staffordshire Law Society, if you please. Rumours of prosecution. Oh, yes. And I don't know what. All because I wouldn't take the trouble to pass their wretched examination. I could pass their examinations on my head if I hadn't got anything better to do. But I have. At first I thought I'd retire for a few years and pass their exams and then come back and make them sit up. And then I thought, no, it's not good enough. I can find something better than the law. And I can find something better than the 5 towns. And here young Lawton has the impudence to preach at me on Knipe Station and tell me that I am wise to leave. Well, I let him have it, and straight. Well, he's no worse than the rest of them. They've got no brains in this district. And they're so narrow. No, narrow isn't the word. Thick-headed's the word. Stupid. Mean. Mean? What did it matter to them? I'd always kept to all their rules. There was a real solicitor on the premises, and there'd soon have been another one, too, if I'd had the time. What business of theirs was it? How the money was divided between me and the real solicitor. Well, they were jealous. There you are. They don't understand enterprise. They hate it. Nothing ever moves in the 5 towns. And they've got no manners. You know, I really think that's the worst. Look at young Lawton's manners. Nothing but a boor. They aren't civilized yet. That's what's the matter with them. That's what my father used to say. Barbarians, he used to say. Ce sont des barbares. Kids used to throw stones at him because of his necktie. And the grown-ups chuck a brick at anything they don't quite fancy. That's their idea of wit.
Shameful.
How often have I heard him say that? Ce sont des barbares. Peel's only brought him over from France because they could find nobody in the Five Towns who was civilized enough to do the work that he was doing. I can just imagine how he must have felt when he first came here. My God. Environment. It's only lately I've begun to realize how I loathe the provinces.
When I first met him, I said to myself that he was a most extraordinary man. And I was right. No one down there has any idea of what he really is. They're too stupid. As he says.
Funny-looking parcel you've got up there.
It's my tea. Mrs. Orgreave packed it for me.
Ah.
There's a vast amount. Far too much for one person. Would you care for some?
Well,
I'd be very grateful if you would.
Oh, well, then, if it's a case of helping you out.
Oh, yes, it is. Mrs. Orgreave thinks trains make people ravenously hungry.
She's right.
Which would you prefer?
Oh, anything. Oh, some of that.
Please.
Thank you. Oh, very good. Yeah, very good. My compliments to Mrs. Orgreave. It isn't of the least importance, you know. In fact, I'm really rather glad. I've never had any trouble making money. And when I've settled up everything down there, I shan't be precisely without. And I shall have no excuse for not branching out in a new line.
New line?
Oh, yes. Yes, the laws and everything, you know. Besides, I'm quite sick of it. Here, do you know what the great thing of the future is? I mean, the really great thing, the really smashing big thing. Well, I'll tell you. Hotels.
Hotels?
Hotels. There'll be more money and more fun to be got out of hotels soon than out of any other enterprise in the world. But you should just see some of the hotels going up in London now. It would give you a start, no mistake. Here, look at that. Look. St. Pancras Hotel. Just look at that. It's something after that style that I want for a toy. And I shall have it. Oh, yes. There aren't 20 people in England who know what a hotel is. But I know. Curious, isn't it? How these things come to you, bit by bit. If it hadn't been for Sarah and that boarding house... Hey! How's that?
This is how you fixed yourself, huh?
Yes.
Oh, say this. I've got a goodish notion of... Okay, now, see you, sir.
What on earth does he want here, making his noises?
What very days?
Oh, some books I've been picking up.
Voltaire. Byron. How much did they ask you for this?
15 shillings.
Here, tack it.
There's going to be a row. He's getting himself in one of his states. He's thinking I should have given him that £50 to look after. Sacred money, that's what he'll say it is. Oh, there'll be a regular old shindy. Oh, yes, there will. It's my blooming money after all.
What's the matter?
Nothing. It's such a relief to me you've come.
I should have come before if I'd known. You should have sent word before.
No, I couldn't after all. What is it? I'm only silly. There's nothing really the matter. The minute you come, I see that. I can even stand those Boutwoods of you're here. You know that George made it up with them. And I won't say he wasn't right, but I had to put my pride in my pocket. And yesterday it nearly made me scream to see Mrs. Boutwood stir her tea.
But why?
I don't know. It's nerves, that's what it is.
But I'm here now.
Yes. The room you had before is empty again. Were you comfortable enough in there?
Oh, yes.
It was that for a while, but it's empty just now.
You think of it as if it's taken then. You've got me as a boarder. That's what you must think.
A boarder?
Yes, of course. So there's no need to worry about the loss of the room, because I shall pay just the same as anyone else.
Beg your pardon, you won't?
Oh, yes, I shall. I should have to pay to live anywhere else. You can't have the profit suffering just because I'm here.
It's too bad of you, Hilda. It really is.
Well, what's the matter, Miss
You're the
Kennedy?
same, aren't you? The same as everyone else I suspected you might be, and you are.
What are you talking about?
Do you think I'm a pauper that can't afford to have a guest?
Oh, no. I didn't mean
thought
that.
you'd come as a friend.
You know I have.
Well, then please don't insult me.
I'm sorry.
Don't you think I have humiliation
Honestly,
enough?
Miss Gailey, I didn't mean to offend you. I only meant to help. Well, I shall say no more about it. And I'm very grateful.
I think you'll be comfortable in that room.
Oh, yes.
Well, I've got to go through these. He's very wishful for proper accounts, George is. That's right enough, but, well, I think I can make a shilling go as far as anyone. And choose flesh meat with anyone, too, that I will say, but these accounts... George is always wanting to know how much it costs a head a week for this and that and the other. It's all very well for him, but if he had servants...
I shall keep your accounts for you, Miss Gailey. But I shall keep your accounts for you. Now, give me those papers.
Well...
Come along now. Give them to me.
Yes. If you say so.
How exactly like Mother was just then. But I can't keep the accounts forever, can I? I can't stay here for...
You can forget all about these and leave them to me.
So kind of you, Hilda.
Not at all. Why don't you take one of the other rooms in the house? You're so cramped in
Oh,
here.
no, I've really got all the space I require. All the space I require. Even if there is sometimes another room empty, I must be sure to keep it available. You must always do that in a boarding house.
Yes. I think if you don't mind, I shall go to bed.
No, of course I don't, dear. You must do just what you like. You must always do that. I'm so glad you're here. So very glad, that's all.
Expect you're tired, too.
Yes, I am.
Well, good night, then.
Good night. Take the lamp? You know there's no gas on this floor.
No, you take the lamp. I know my way.
Hilda,
Well,
did he say anything to you about Brighton?
Brighton?
Yes. He's got it into his head that Brighton's the only place for the sporting house business if it's to be properly done.
Never said a word to me about Brighton.
Oh. Well, good night then, Hilda.
Night. Brighton? What next?
Show me your book. The shop-sized book. It's not added.
No, not yet.
I'll
Father.
do it. Stiff,
Sir?
bring me the sales slip.
Yes, sir.
Got your dinner.
It's not quite time yet.
Got your dinner, I tell you. Petty cash. Now bring me the till.
What on earth are you trying to get at?
I'm trying to get at where you got the brass from to buy them their books as I saw last night. Where did you get it from? There's naught wrong here, unless you're a mighty lot cleverer than I take you for. Where did you get it from? You don't mean to tell me as you saved it up? I'm waiting.
I've drawn my club money.
Now what?
My share. It's matured. I've drawn out the money from the building society. I've had to pay in all these blooming years.
What do you mean by doing that and saying naught?
What do you mean by calling me a thief?
Oh? I never called thee a thief.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You starved me for money until I haven't got sixpence to bless myself with. You couldn't get a man to do what I do for twice what you pay me. Then you call me a thief, and then you jump down my throat because I spend some money of my own.
Hold your tongue, lad. Make a less now. Do you want the old street?
I'll not make a less row. You make as much noise as you want, I'll make as much noise as I want. Thief, indeed.
I'll never call thee a thief.
Let me come out.
What?
Father thinks I've been stealing his damn money.
Edwin, I've kept some dinner up.
No, thanks.
Father's had his dinner and
No,
gone.
thanks. come in. Come in.
I think you'd better come and have your tea.
Where is he?
Father, he's had his tea and gone back to the shop. Come along.
Well, I have to wash myself first.
Will you have one of Mrs. Nixon's cakes?
No, thanks. I've eaten all I want.
She baked them specially.
Why?
Well,
Of course. Everyone always knows about everything here.
I don't think she could help it. There was quite a lot of noise. Father said I could tell you could pay yourself an extra £0.5 a week wages from next Saturday.
He's been talking then. What did he say?
Oh, not much. He told me I could tell you if I liked.
But it'd look better of him if he'd have told me himself. £0.5. Well, the old man must have had a bit of a shock. I'll lay I don't hear another word about that £50.
Having your tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he'd gone back to the shop.
£0.5? Oh, yes. I gave him a bit of a shock.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Miss Orgreave.
So you were installed?
Yes, we're in.
Was the move too awful?
Well, you know how these things are. Fosters take you anywhere.
Yes.
I think we're gradually getting sorted out.
Good. I suppose it all looks very different now. I mean, from when I last saw it, it wasn't finished then.
Oh, yes, it does.
Did you manage it all right about the bookcases?
Hmm?
You said they were a secret between Father and you.
Oh, yes, that got sorted out.
Good. Now I suppose you've got your books on them.
Yes. I picked up something quite good yesterday. Books, I mean.
Did you?
Didn't seem too bad to me. Byron's Childe Harold and Don Juan, matching volumes in calf, and 12 matching volumes of Voltaire. 17 bob the lot, not too bad.
Oh, no. I don't know very much about prices, but I would have thought you'd got a bargain there.
Little stall in the market.
Oh, I must tell Tom.
He might be interested.
Oh, yes. I'm all alone tonight, except for this year. Father and Mother and the boys are gone to a fete at Longshore.
And Miss Lessways?
Oh, she's gone. She's gone back to London. She went yesterday.
Rather sudden, isn't it?
Well, she had to go.
Oh. She live in London?
She does just now.
Oh, I only asked because I thought from something she said she came from Turnhill way.
Her people do. Yes, you may say she's a Turnhill girl.
She seems very fond of poetry.
You've noticed it? You should hear her recite.
Recite, does she?
Beautifully. You'd have heard her the night you were here, but when she knew you were coming, she made me promise not to ask her.
Really? Why? She didn't know me. She'd never seen me.
Oh, she might just have seen you in the street. In fact, I believe she had. Well, that wasn't the reason. It's just that you were a stranger. She's very sensitive, you know.
Well, I suppose I'd better be getting back.
Me too.
Still a lot to sort out back there.
Yes.
Good night then, Miss Orgreave.
Good night, Mr. Clayhanger.
Gone to London? Why? What does it matter? Of course, it's no business of mine. Don't ask me to recite when Edwin Clayhanger's there. Was I being secretive? Was Father right? No, of course he wasn't. It's my £50. I must not surrender myself to passion. Whatever happens, I must not do that.
She'll be all right soon. I can get away soon. I can... Surely I can get away soon.
It's George. It's George. He's just getting out of the cab.
Did you know he was coming?
I know. I just... Hadn't you better go down? He's got his own key. He'll come straight in.
Oh, no, I'm sure he won't want to see me.
Oh, I think he will. You see...
What is it? What's wrong? You did know he was coming.
He said he might. He wrote this morning.
Well, why didn't you say?
I didn't know what you'd... I didn't know what to... You'll be waiting for us. Hadn't we better go down?
Thank you, Hetty.
Mr. Cannon. It's Mr. Cannon. It's Mr. Cannon out here. Hello there, Mr. Cannon. How very good to see you. And well, I trust well.
Very well, thank you, Mr. Bartwood. And you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and how are you, Mrs. Bartwood?
Trying to keep my pecker up.
Oh, and succeeding very well, I should say. Oh, Miss Hammond, you look younger every visit I make. And how are you, Miss Taylor?
Hello, Mr. Cannon.
Now here is our monarch coming down the stairs. Here's the little lady who keeps us all in trim, who feeds us and shoes us. Shoes us, I mean.
Hello, Sarah. Miss Lessways.
You don't come and see us nearly often enough, Mr. Cannon. Cheers us up like mad things when you do.
Oh, business, my dear, business. He's a very busy man.
But this is his business, and so are we.
No, I do assure you, Mrs. Bartwood, if I could get down here more often, I would. But not all my concerns are in such good hands as this one. And I'm afraid this is going to be a very short visit indeed.
Oh, shame on you, Mr. Cannon.
Well, you must try to excuse me if you can. I have to get back to Turnhill tonight, and I must just have a few words with Miss Gailey.
Oh, you know, we'll excuse you anything.
Mr. Cannon, while you're here, could I have a brief word with you? Very brief business.
Well, yes, of course.
What say we go up to the little room?
Yes.
Yes. I won't keep him from you for very long.
Oh, just 1 minute, Mr. Bartwood.
Yes.
No, you carry on.
Yes, right here. Right.
You've got my letter?
Yes.
Now, while I'm upstairs, you have a look at those.
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, open it and see. What are they?
Pictures.
What of?
Brighton.
Brighton?
He's found a boarding house there. He wants us to move to Brighton very soon, he says.
Us?
Yes. He's found a wonderful place, he says. And we've got to move down there, so he says.